it going, YouTube? Happy 2021. First video of 2021. So this is, I guess it's like season 3 of this whole adventure. So I thought I'd do a goals video, just do my goals. Yeah, there's someone in the background. She says Happy New Year. Yeah, goals for 2021. I'm sure, you know, we've all made New Year's resolutions. So just a quick update. Yeah, this would be season 3 of all of this fun. This would be my 3rd season, I guess, of competitive golf. First season was 2029, second season 2020, and now this will be the 3rd season. So I guess I'll start in what's going to happen first. I'm getting my schedule together. It looks like I could be able to get a full schedule in. I'm still waiting for the USGA to, you know, put up their. They're going to put everything up on the 25th. Their schedule of January 2021 for the year. I'll have to see how money is, and now that I'm in Canada, how easy it'll be to get to certain qualifiers in the sort of Great Lakes area. I can either go down to Detroit area or Buffalo, upstate New York area. So that'll depend on, you know, my access to a car. But there's a pretty extensive schedule for the, you know, state or provincial championships. The tournaments are really early in the year. They're all in May. And that they just do a run of the 3 big championships, and then that's about it, right? So it's like make it or break it. It's like Q school. And then so if I have success in those, then I know what the rest of my season's like. If not, there's some backup plans. I can play on a couple of the mini sort of pro tours up here. They'll obviously be more expensive, but you know, play against great folks, really good players, like solid players. You know, good sort of Corn Ferry, Mackenzie Tour level pros and top amateurs. But you know, and then I should be able to, I'll be back and forth between New York City and the Toronto area, so I should be able to get into some events at the end of the season on Long Island and things like that. But I'll work that all out depending on May. So the sort of schedule would be determined by how things go in May. So that's sort of nice, actually. That's different than what I've had to deal with in the past. You know, I've sort of have to just, not have to, but you know, it's like almost doing a Q school, right? Like I'll know what my fate is by the end of May, like, which is great. So so what would be my goals for the season? Well, so just from a logistical point of view, play as many tournaments as I can, play as many events as I can, whether that means qualifying for them or then as a fallback, you know, signing up for some pro events. Then I would want to improve my scoring, right? So my scoring has been tracking down, but it's still, I don't think it's still, you know, it's not at the level where I could safely say, hey, I could just sort of sign up and make a qualifier. You know, I'm still working to like grind out, you know, a mid 75 round, let's say, under competition. Like in my practice rounds or my, you know, playing rounds, I've been doing great. So what do I do to, you know, the goal is like, how do I get those tournament rounds closer to my sort of, you know, abilities that I've, you know, been able to demonstrate in my regular playing rounds, and that's for everybody, right? So how would I do that? Well, okay, so I need to drop 3 to 4 shots on my scoring average, let's say. If my scoring average right now is like 70, I don't know, 78, let's say. I would want to get that down to like 75. It's like starting to get to a good college level, let's say. You know, like Division 2 or something. So how am I going to do that? Well, the first thing I think I'm going to do is not worry about my scoring average. Like, just play every event as well as I can, and don't worry about my score. Because last year when I worried about my score, things went south. And you know, and I would have made some cuts, and the cuts were good. Like I was tracking to like 75 in a pro tournament, and I missed by 3 shots because I worried about my score. Same thing happened a little bit. So, yeah, so the idea is to not worry about my score in tournaments, which is going to be really hard. But just go play the best I can. Don't worry about the the outcome. It's human nature. We're going to want to do that, but try to control that urge and just play. See what happens. I'm in no rush. Then what am I going to do to get my scoring average down? Well, so already, even with the limited amount of time I was able to get in the golf dome before everything shut down. We're still in a shutdown. We're going to be in shutdowns probably till February or something. Like the numbers here are going nuts, like everywhere else. So just even having access to being a practice drivers. I know I'm a broken record on this, but yeah, like it feels like already I've, even that, like it feels like, oh yeah, how'd I hit a driver again? Wow, great. And not like standing on the tee and going, so what do I do again? I mean, obviously I know how to hit a driver, but when you're trying to shape shots and confidence, just having reps in. Play more tournaments. It would be the other thing I would do to get more comfortable in tournaments, which I should be able to do this year. And then, putting. I'm working on my putting indoors. So I should have a place. I think I'm going to have a place to join and play regularly. It's a really small little old course. It's like from 1913. It's super short. But it's good. It's not a lot of play there. I'll take a weekday membership. And I should just be able to go up there like 3 days a week and practice, and that I think would be enough. Just this is what I used to do as a junior. Just my dad would drop me off and I'd play all day, hit balls all day. And you do that forever. So I think my schedule, I can make that happen this year, like financially. It relies on me having access to a car. I think I should be able to borrow a car to get me started. I still have to get my driver's license. I didn't, after years of living in New York, and I had an Ontario driver's license. It lapsed, and I don't have it anymore. I have the learner's permit. I've made I scheduled a test in March, but everything's shut down. So who knows? Maybe I don't get a chance to do a driver's my road test or whatever I need to get my regular driver's license. I mean, I won't go into it because I have been driving, but it's my old license, so I don't want to break any laws or anything. So yeah, I mean that'll sort of determine where I play as well, if I can get in. So hopefully everything will open up and I won't get bumped, because it took me 6 months to get the appointment. So yeah, so on the driver front, I went and on the scoring club front, I've went and bought a couple clubs on the off season. I bought another sim, so I'm gonna give it another try. I bought one really cheap on eBay. I might have alluded to this, not eBay, or some Global Golf in Canada Black Friday sale. So I'm just waiting for. I just bought the stock Ventus shaft again. I'm just waiting for that to show up, because I really sort of liked that sim. I had the max version and it was a little higher loft than what I needed. But once I sort of got used to the twist face, I was like sort of bombing it. So we'll work with that this year. I've got the F9 again. Maybe I'll, if I get a cheap speed zone. So, just some clubs at the top end to dial in, see if that helps at all. And then I also bought a Strixon, like a 51, an approach wedge. I tried to build sort of like an 11 iron with a Vokey, and I still found if on full shots the Vokey sort of spun up for me too much. I could never, on fuller shots keep it down, and so we'll try the Strixon sort of set matched version. It sort of matches really nice with the 945. So that might be pretty cool. Because that was like one area where I was just like having a lot of like if I'm at 100 yards, that would be great. If I'm like 125, I'd be awesome for a pitching wedge. That's a big gap in between, especially if I didn't lay up to the right yardage or something. So especially on a par 5 or something like that. So I think that'll help. So putting, wedge a little bit, driver, update, then just general practicing, trying to get better, playing more tournaments. And then, I think if I do those things, I can't help but not have more success, it would seem, right? So that's what the goals are. The goals are to play more events, not worry about scoring in tournaments, and ideally that'll result in better scores. So I'm still doing workouts. I'm here doing workouts inside. I don't know when everything will open back up, but it is what it is. So yeah, there we go. I mean, so we're all teed up for another year. Again, I'll probably do more videos in the off season here, but as we get into the season, I probably won't do very many videos because it's setting up, I've gone through this rant before, setting up the camera, getting all that stuff ready. It's it takes away from your ability to focus, and I should have access to a putting green, short game area, or a short game, I should have enough isolation on this course that I should be able to practice short game for a couple hours and play rounds and hit balls. So that'll be good. I also have there's a couple really good driving ranges near me. So yeah, there's everything is teed up to have a good year. I'm assuming we should, even if it starts late, I should be able to at some point start getting in rounds. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, so we got our video friend in the background. So yeah, there we are. Who knew we'd be here 3 years later on a whim. Oops. Oh. So there we are. Who knew we'd be here 3 years later, on sort of a whim. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So, we'll see if we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I'll keep you posted on off-season prep here in the spring. Then we'll jump into the season, and then I'll do another wrap-up video like I did last year. I didn't do the greatest set of wrap-up videos because there wasn't that many tournaments. So there we go. As always, thanks for following along. I don't post this channel, but hey, if you watch this, and I don't really make an effort to grow this channel. It's just a diary for myself. But hey, if you want to follow along, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you have anything you'd like me to talk about in the comments, let me know. Right now I don't have any world ranking points, so there's a goal too. It would be pretty cool to get some world amateur ranking points, even if I'm the 12,000th amateur in the world. That'd be pretty fun. So if I get into a couple of the events and I'd have to score, I have to make the cuts, but I think they give you ranking points if you make the cuts in the events or something like that. So that's cool. So there we go. If you got anything you'd like me to talk about, put something down in the comments. I'll do a what's in the bag. I'm just waiting for the tailor-made irons to not be such a backlog. I'm going to get a 5 and 6 iron in the P770, and then the bag is pretty well good to go. I might update the 3-wood to one of the Sim TIs, but we'll see. So a couple little grips, but yeah, everything's pretty well good to go. So there we go. Thanks as always for checking in and following along. It's been a lot of fun doing these videos. It's been helpful for me to just sort of hear myself talk for a little bit. Hopefully, if you're in the winter like us, you're getting some practice done. If you're in an area that has ability to play right now, hopefully you're getting a lot of rounds in, maybe playing some off-season tournaments and getting ready for local qualifiers. If you're at the at a higher amateur level, or if you're getting ready for any sort of pro events. That's awesome. Yeah, there we go. Another boring video of me talking, but hey, that's what trying to get better is. It's just boring. So, all right, bye for now. Long extended outro. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.